Okay, so the next thing we're going to show you is, you will see on our little stand, we've got some little spinning eggs like this. And if you spin them, they will spin round and round and round. Now, everything on here is just made with paper. So we've got the beads, we've got the tassel, and we've got the little eggs. Now, I'm just going to show you this with 4 of the eggs that we've cut from our little Easter egg bauble dies. But if you want to do 6, 8, 10, entirely up to you, you can make it as busy as you want to. But I thought it was quite nice to be able to see all those lovely papers on there. So what we've done is we have cut 4 of our eggs here, and I've used our Easter papers. You can use whatever Easter papers you've got. You might have got some digital papers that we have. You might have got a printed set. You might want to do these not for Easter. I mean, you could do these at Christmas, maybe even in your damask papers. So think about doing something like that. So what we need to do, we also need to make a tassel, and we need to show you how to make some of the little beads, which are really, really easy. So first of all, I've just got a tiny little piece here which measures about 1 3/4 inches by 1 inch or so. And this is going to be my little tassel. I'm using our fringing scissors, and I'm just going to snip like that. I'm just going a little bit further up there, I think. I don't want to go too close, because what I did the other day, I put too much pressure on. I went straight through, right to the top, and split it in half. So I'm not going to do that today. And then the last little bit, we'll do that one. So that is going to be our tassel. Now, you can roll that up around your pokey tool if you want to, or you can do it with your quilling tool, whatever you want to. The quilling tool will work, and I'm just using regular paper here, so you can still use that. And I'm going to roll it round. I'm not going to do it too tight to start off with, because I need to get some twine through there. So we're going to roll that up. And then when we get to the end there, just add a little bit of tacky glue, and then we can pop that to one side, and that will be drying for a second, just so that we know that will stay where we put it. And then my quilling tool will come out of there. Now, because I've left it quite slack, it means I'll be able to get my twine through it. I have got a large, long needle, which is what I use when I'm making like dolls and things. So I thought this is going to be a really good idea. But if you've got like a darning needle or a bodkin or something like that, you might be able to get your needle through there. So we've got our tassel. So what we need to do now, we need to make some little paper beads. And again, these are a perfect way of using your scraps. So what you'll need 4 beads. Well, I've done 4 beads, but it's up to you however many you want to do. Now, these are just strips cut from the end of my paper. So if I bring in a piece of card like this, all I've done is started here on my guillotine and my trimmer and gone down and cut it a little bit wider like that. And then all you need to do is snip the ends off on a bit of an angle. And then what you're going to do, again, I'm going to put my quilling tool in there. I'm going to roll it up. And because you've got the slope on either side, what it does is it brings it in to the middle and gives it a little bit more shape. Like that, so you end up with a nice little bead effect. I love paper beads, and I love making paper beads. I think they're really fun to do, and you can use them in lots of different ways because they're quite useful. What I did do with them as well once was I actually put wire through them and put 3 or 4 on one, and then join them to another piece of wire. So it ended up with being like a little wire bunch of berries, which was really cute. So again, it's a really nice thing to do. And it's a great way of using up all your little strips that you've got, all your scraps. And once you start doing it, you'll just love it. And there's nothing stopping you making, like, you know, jewellery and things. Even if you do it for the children just to play with, it's quite a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
It's quick and easy, and you'll end up with like different effects each time depending on what paper you use. Like that one is blue, but then that last little strip I've put round has got some like stripes on it and also some foliage, so it's really cute. And you'll see as I put them down, they're all slightly different in shape, so you can make them quite unique. So we're going to do another one here, and then what we will do is we will start to thread everything together, and then you can see how it works. So when I did this for the first time, when I was making up this project, I did it kind of from the top down, and I kind of struggled a little bit just because I couldn't get the twine exactly where I wanted it. And then it was hard because I attached the twine to the eggs. I couldn't then thread everything onto the bottom. So I decided it was easier to actually work from the bottom and go up with the twine. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm going to just do this other bead just in case we need to have like a smaller one or a longer one. That way we've got 5 different ones and you'll be able to see how we use them. So let's thread that onto there. Now also as well, this is where your needle comes in useful, because if you've got a thicker needle, you can push it up through the middle of the bead. When you're quilling, your first section of paper gets folded over into the middle of the hole. So sometimes you need to just kind of, you know, push that to one side to get your twine through. So that's how I figured out. It was easy to do it. Do all your little bits first and then build it up. So we've got our 5 little beads there now. And there's something about those little paper beads, they're really nice to hold, and they're quite tough as well. So we've got 5 different shaped ones there. Some are longer than others, some are fatter than others, and that depends on your paper. So what we want to do now, I want to take my needle here and take it up through the tassel, like that. Okay, and then as my twine goes through there like that, I'm going to put a knot in there. So the knot, like I'm going to do like a double knot, so that will then go through into the tassel, and we'll stop it coming off the like twine or the cord, whatever you've used. And if you want to put a blob of glue on there, you can, but I don't think you'll need to. I've got 3 little knots there on top of each other, so we can pull that through. I'll snip a bit of that off because we don't want that poking out the bottom. And then if you open your tassel up a little bit, you can make sure that knot goes inside there like that, nice and snug, like that. So that just sits there like that. Now then, as I said before about the beads, because we've quilled them, in the middle of them, you're going to get like a fold of the paper. And this is where your big needle comes in, because what you can do is you can actually then make that hole a bit wider. Now, depending on the width of your needle and your twine, you might not be able to thread it all the way through. So what we can do, we'll give it a try. If it won't go through, I don't think it will with the thickness of the twine. What we can do now is we can put the twine through there, and if I cut the end off, so it's nice and kind of sharp, and we can still give it a little bit more of a twizzle, like that. Worst case scenario, you can add a tiny bit of tacky glue on there. If you feel like it's going to come apart, hey ho, it's worked beautifully. So again, we'll take another one, and we'll do, I think we'll do that one, that other long one, and then what we'll do, put the needle through again, and give it a little bit of a push. Now, because you've not glued your bead, if you want to glue your bead all the way along, you can. I just roll it and then glue the end. You can then hold on to it because it might move, and you can alter the shape as it's on the needle.
Yeah.
So let's pop this one through here now. Let's give that a little shove. There we go. Beautiful. That's gone through. This is going well. And then we'll do, let's do the green one. This is a little bit more plain. So we'll do this so it's got a bit more of a contrast in the ones that we've already put on there, because they're quite patterned. So again, it's just a matter of getting that, you know, through there if you can. If you can't get it all the way through, because it obviously goes thicker where the eye of the needle is. And then we can see if that one will go through. Let's go from the other end, I think, this time. Just pop that open a bit more. And then that will slide through there. And if it doesn't go, if you feel like there's some kind of resistance, you can turn it round and try it the other way.
Yeah.
And then if you find your twine's coming open again, you can either trim off a little bit of the end if you feel like it's starting to fray open. Then you can do that. And we all know what it's like trying to thread twine into things through tags and stuff like that. But it's worth just, you know, taking your time. There we go. Well, that's coming out there now. So now we've got our three beads on there. And again, a little tassel, so that looks quite cute. So what we need to do now, we're going to take our eggs and we're going to fold them in half. I'm not scoring them because it's not, I don't think you need to score them because it's not like very heavy white paper. What I will do though, I will get my little bone folder and just press that down, just so we've still got a nice fold. And then we do the same with the second one. And I've chosen all different papers here, so we get a good use out of them. And again, if you're doing it from scraps, it works perfectly that way. So, and then we'll do this one. So I'm just guessing where the halfway mark is, and you can tell by the shape of the egg. Once you start putting it together, you can tell when you've got it halfway. And then we've got our fourth one here. So let's just do that as well. And there we go. And then we can start to put these together. So let's look at the way we want to put them together, because we've got patterned one. So we've got a patterned one here. So we'll do the patterned one. And again, just tacky glue on one side. Let me get that little dried bit off the end. So just on one half, first of all. And then you will attach this to, so we're going to go with this blue one, because we've got a patterned one, and then we've got one that's a bit more picturesque, if you like, more like floral and foliage and stuff. And then the next one we'll do, we will put the next one on as, again, another very busy patterned one. Now at this stage now, if you go down the middle there, you can then add your twine there, like that. And if you leave a tiny little gap, it means that your beads will still dangle a bit at the bottom. Okay, so we'll do that, because press that in there now, and that will start to grab. And then we've got our next patterned one, which we'll put on here, like this. Okay. And then, so the next thing we want to do, now this is the trickiest bit, because what we want to do is we want to put a bead on the top, but we need to put a hanging loop as well. So this is where the difficulty is when it comes to getting your bead on top. And I know a lot of other people would probably just do this and use proper beads. I didn't have anything that was the right colour, really. They were a bit garish, the ones I'd got, so I didn't have anything. That's why I made the paper beads myself. So what we're going to do now, we'll pop this piece on, and then we're going to double this next one over, so that we've not got a knot at the top. This goes inside now, like this, and it makes it nice and neat. Okay, and then we can add our glue here, like that. And we stick that in place like that, and that will also then grab the loop that we've just put in there. So we can do that, push that together. So again, it's quite simple to do, but it's quite effective. And then, of course, if you want to get your next bead on there, so let's have a look which one we've got that's got quite a big hole in there, so we can push that through. And then, now, bearing in mind here, we've got a double width of thread. So, you should be able to get it through there. What I did was I think I pushed it with my pin. So let's see if we can get that through there, like that. Just get that in, and then push it through with your pin or your pokey tool if you can. Or a little needle. I mean, your quilling tool might even go through there, but I'm not sure if it will. Just push that through. I think it's going now. The pin's going through. See if we can push that through a little bit more. So this is your fiddliest bit, really. But don't worry about it. Let's see if we can get a bit more through. See if we can grab it from this end. If we can't push that through, let me pull it out and try again. What we can do, give it a bit more of a twizzle, like that. just so it goes tight. Again, you can put tacky glue on it so it goes quite firm, and it will dry hard, and then it will probably go through.
Yeah.
And again, I'm up against it here with the, let's grab that now. Let's do it with my, let's try it with my needle. My needle's a bit more, got a bit more pressure on it rather than the pin. Pop that through. Come on, twine, go through. Try it with that end. Do you know, all the ones I've done, they've been absolutely perfect. They've gone straight through. If it won't go through, well, we can just leave it, obviously, because of the time aspect. I feel like it's going through, but it's not quite coming out of the top. But you know how to do that now. So if it doesn't go through, then what we can do is, oh, not sure, no, it's not gone through there. So we'll leave the bead for now. But it will work because I've made 3 already.
Yeah.
What you can do if you've got something, maybe try putting your pokey tool through the bead, because that way then you'll be able to get that on top. If I get it on top, then obviously it'll be fine. I might be able to try and get that on there. But then you will end up with something like that. And as you can see, I have got the beads on the other ones, but there you go.